Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, this is Jeeves here, your old composer here at the Decomposer Lounge, doing another Twice Bake session where I listen to the song a few times, then I come back here with my thoughts and share it with you. Just a couple things up front, then give you some more thoughts when I stop again. So metalcore has confused the hell out of me. And I think this band, Imminence, is considered metalcore. When I looked it up on Wikipedia, it said something else, which I wasn't too sure, so I'm not even going to mention what it says on Wikipedia about Imminence. But watching this video, here's the thing that intrigued me, because this came across Patreon when somebody said, hey, dude, they're doing strings on this, or the lead singer's playing strings. And I'm like, and immediately into my mind, it came to a thought came up of like, well, I guess kind of like maybe how, what's the name of the lead singer of Korn that plays bagpipes? I'm thinking, okay, well, that's really cool. I mean, you know, there's a bazillion musicians out there that play multiple instruments. Then I listened to the track and I was like, qua? Strings? So listen, I want you, if it wasn't for the video, I wouldn't have been able to pull out what is considered strings, but this is an intense listen to. And also, when you listen to the hook on this, let me know what you think, where that hook might pull from any other band in the past. So anyhow, like usual, thanks for your support. Cup of coffee, jumbo coffee. Links are down below for Patreon coffee, checking out the stuff I'm doing on Twitch, playing video games and listening to music there, blah, blah, blah. So I needed to just chill and enjoy that sip. All right, let's do this, guys. This is Desolation from the band Imminence. Oops, I got to bring it back over here because I already listened to it. All right, here we go, guys. All right.
Hold your breath and count to 10. Promise me it's not the end. Take control and lead me in. All there again and again. I feel it in my bones, deep beneath my skin. Why can't I close my eyes? Stop, everything is fine. This is the black. There's no coming back. Back from the darkness. How did I become so heartless?
What a trip blend. Jeez.
Searching for a light in the dead of night.
What does this hook sound like to you? Okay, so stopping when I can here before we start off our second verse. So I read in the comments, you know, so now that I get to do it this way and I don't do these first time reaction kind of things, I can go through the comments on the band's video and see what people are saying. And I caught a comment where somebody said, another violinist said it was just absolutely hell to sing and play violin at the same time. I can understand a little of that, especially since the violin is being held here. It doesn't mean that it has to. We've seen violin players play holding it out a little bit while they're, you know, doing what they do. But in this case, what I'm watching with this singer and the violin is the fact that what he's doing while he's singing in the video is whole notes. So he's just da, da, da. If he was following the riff like the strings did in the second half of the intro, might be a little difficult. And then again, though, I'm in complete amazement of musicians that can play and sing in the first place. Anyhow, you know, like guys like Sting and stuff like that. They're, without a doubt, I love how they opened up with that kind of lo-fi guitar, you know, riff. That riff, same exact riff, turns into the string pattern, you know, the little ostinato that's going on. But it's back there. At least with this string section, it's not a forceful in-your-face, like we're really trying to emphasize the power of the strings against, you know, the power of the metalcore. His voice is absolutely insane. Extremely hooky. In it to a minute to win it. So the hook is in already, and I kind of have an idea, my thought process of what the hook sounds like. I'll let you know at the next stop, but put down in the comments what you thought that hook kind of may have pulled from in a band from 20 some odd years ago. That it's back there, but it's deep in the mix. The engineering is just insanely unreal on this. Good place for me to stop. Because I was aware that there were strings in this before I even listened to it even the first time, I put a different set of ears when I'm listening to it, obviously. But one of the things that's really cool about me watching the video as I'm listening to this is like on my other channel where I do reviews of video games, especially the hardcore bombastic ones that have gigantic boss fights that are orchestral. And I watch the orchestral video of a live performance of it. To me, it's really super cool because you can visually associate what let's say the brass section is doing, the string section, the percussion section, the blah blah blah. So you could see the musicians playing. In this case, hearing the little pizzicato, that's the plucking of the strings. Boom, ba, 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 boom, ba. That is so badass, and that is so next level for me in production when it comes to this style of music. Because it actually had a little bit of life in the mix. And even if I didn't see the musicians, or that element in the video, I probably would have gone, ping? What is that? That has to be like pizzicato, but no, I probably would have gone somewhere into that zone. But it's great to see that. And I love the fact that during this whole second verse, there was a little bit more of a lift emphasis on the string mix in the mix. And also, speaking of the mix is just, you heard me before, it's just freaking unreal. The drum positioning. What's really unique that I love about also the mix is the overheads, where the cymbals are placed a little lower than I think I'm used to hearing, but I really like it because a lot of times what we're hearing now is what's a huge emphasis in metal is that little cymbal that everybody hits and uses as, either their quarters or their eighths or something like that, which when I was a kid was more about just kind of slightly opened hi-hats. I hope this is the end. Yeah, it is. Okay. It's not the first time that I've heard strings in metal music. We all know that. What I loved about this was the use of it in an intimate way in such a powerful realm. Even with a lead singer, the dichotomy between this gentle, beautiful instrument and the power of his voice. That energy between the two in a visual realm and also in the way I heard it was really super unique. And that could, I'm not getting spiritual here, but that kind of yokes pretty intense here and kind of a sonic to soul kind of like vibe for me. Like here's this raw, but a single violin and stuff like that. Big tug of war for me there. And also the other violin parts on there. Once again, yes, I've heard bands that have used violins but more orchestral, more large in its orchestrating and arrangement. Whereas this still was a very intimate little section, maybe 2 or 3 violins and maybe some overdubs and stuff. I saw a cello in there, but I couldn't decipher the line in there. There were some pads in there, it sounded like, some glassy pads towards the end that gave a lot of that ethereal ambient vibe. One thing that I kind of was like leaning into a little bit, and I kind of was looking, and so there is a bass player. At first I thought maybe it was one of the bands that didn't have a bass player and they used the like 8th string or something on a guitar. So I saw the bass player back there. Probably would have loved to have heard a little bump on the bottom, or maybe a little more stepping out on the arrangement on stuff like that. But that's just me, just where my ears, sometimes wants to hear things as an arranger and composer, and that really doesn't matter because I'm listening to their music, So anyhow, I thought this was super badass, and I guess they're from Sweden. I don't know how long they've been around. I didn't do much research. I did do that little Wikipedia search just to see what the genre was. Like I say, metalcore kind of confuses me a little bit. It's almost like you can almost do just about anything. And then I heard somebody said in one of my comments on another band that I did that was metalcore, they called it mall metalcore or something. This guy's voice is absolutely crazy. Where we are right now with the level of which bands are releasing music, it's just so beyond anything I could have ever imagined. Thank God this channel came about. Anyhow, guys, listen. You guys have a killer week. I know it's Monday morning for me, 7:30 here in Hawaii. I don't know where it is in the world for you, but have a great rest of your week. I'll be coming by later on with some more stuff. You got that? All right. See ya.